Madhusudan, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, you are appearing for CBI scale 3 or scale 4?
So scale 3.
Excellent. So, which bank are you working?
So currently I'm in FPL Technologies. It's a fintech company.
Acha, that boy, the Fintech
Uh,
technology. So, what is
yes,
your
sir.
experience in banking?
So total years of experience in banking is 6 years.
Mhm. And experience in banking 6 years, and Fintech how many years?
It's 1 year.
Fintech 1 year. What is your exposure to day-to-day operations in the branch, at the branch banking? In which bank did you serve?
Sir, in Kotak Mahindra Bank, initially for the 3 years, I have been there in a branch banking team. So I was managing a portfolio of 100 crore rupees, wherein certain clients, high network clients, was mapped to me. So so my responsibility was to take care of them, including the service point. Wherever they need a service, I was a point of contact for them. And apart from this, I need to source new accounts, including current account, savings account. Along with that, there was some investment products. For example, mutual fund and insurance. There was an insurance product as well linked to that. So all these products need to be cross-sold to the particular customers along with the existing customers. So that
So,
service quality, yes, sir.
what were the services you were giving to those selected clients?
Yeah. So, for example, if I take the example of the current account, wherein they have availed the doorstep banking facility, but that was not been activated or some issue they are facing. So, my job is to resolve it. There's another issue like, for example, if they want some credit from our bank, so I need to take that lead. I need to do the basic investigation on that part, and then I will pass that particular lead to a specific department who is going to take care of a particular client. And even on the product side, for example, if someone wants the current account and the interest facility need to be availed, then there is a FD facility that can be availed from that side. So all these small issues, wherever the customer is stuck, including the checkbooks not being catered on a timely basis, or if they are facing some issue at the internet banking or the mobile application, wherever the possibilities are, all these services comes under me, and I need to cater them and I need to help them.
What are the formalities to be observed while opening an account for a public limited company?
Okay. So for public limited company, the kind of documents we need is a PAN card, a basic thing. Apart from that, we need a certificate of incorporation and the certificate of commencement of business. So these two certificates are important. Then we will take the proof specifically so that the company is able to justify its legal existence. That is, any entity proof can be taken. For example, GST registration number and the GST billing cycle and all can be taken for that. If the particular company is involved in the export or import or export, then the certificate is needed specifically, a kind of a registration certificate for export and import. Apart from this, even we need a memorandum of association, article of association, and the board resolution that need to be signed by all the directors. And while opening account, even we need to check from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs website whether all these directors which have been mentioned over here has been exactly been there registered with the MC or not. So these are the basic things we will take as a documents.
Do you insist on import-export code at the time of opening account itself or before giving facilities?
Sir, it depends in which particular segment the client is working and the customer wants to open account. Suppose his business occupation is basically initially, say for example, if the customer is not involved in export or credit, then at the initial point we will not insist in taking a particular certificate. However, in the vice versa, if the customer is already involved in the export and the import services, then it's important to have that certificate and the registration number.
Good. In the case of exporters, what are the types of facilities they will be asking for or services they will be requesting you from the bank?
So a couple of services that I've involved in and I know the basics out of it. is one is booking a transaction. Say for example, the rate of the USD dollar, say for example, is 80. So they want to book a forward contract. In specifically in that case, they contact me or the branch service quality manager to help them on that particular point.
Okay, then.
So this is a one. Apart
Okay.
from this, yeah.
What are the credit facilities to which exporters will be requiring bank services?
Okay. So one of them is a letter of credit that is majorly involved. It is a kind of a facility which has been given to the exporters, wherein the buyer and the sellers are not pretty sure about both of them, and the integrity is on the question mark. So they are not pretty sure like whether the seller will do whether the buyer will do the payment or not post the shipment is been shipped from his end. So the letter of credit is a kind of a facility wherein the issuing bank will issue a letter of credit and it will be redirected to the advising bank, and through the bank channel everything the settlement of the transaction will happen. So this is a kind of a facility that I came across.
That is letter of credit. Correct.
Yeah, sir.
Then apart from that, exporters need what type of, so for example, say if it is a trader working in India, what are the facilities he will ask for from you?
So apart from this, specifically related to the export side, you're asking?
Not ask exports. This person is not engaged in exports. He is dealing in internal trade only. He is not a manufacturer. He is a trader only. So which, for example, Big Bazaar or some big shops, Spencer's or Nilgiri's. So what type of facilities will they be asking for from the bank?
Okay. So one of the facility that the traders are mostly keen about to have them with them is a OD facility, overdraft facility, because in trading, a lot of so they have their creditors and debtors, and generally the cycle of the trading it's a little bit long in comparison to the other points. And there is an uncertainty also in the trading business. So kind of looking at that point, the OD facility is the best suitable one for them, wherever they can use the particular amount, even if they don't have a sufficient amount balance in their current account.
Is it called OD? Is it called OD or some other nomenclature when it is linked to the products that are being sold by the trader?
Okay.
What is that called? What is that facility?
Okay, so if it is related,
you are not getting the point. It is known as open cash credit or key cash credit. Are you aware of these facilities?
So I know the cash credit, the basic functionality of cash credit, but specifically
how the cash credit facility is operated.
What
are the formalities to be complied with?
Okay, so cash credit is a facility wherein the basic requirement is on the working capital. So it depends basically. So when the consideration is being taken on the stock and the debtors, so basic on that the calculation is being done, and the final amount that is a cash credit amount is being considered basis on that. And on the regular intervals, the customer need to submit their stock statement and the debtor statement.
Exactly. I was keen about the stock statement and the exhibiting of the name board at the outside. And one extra formality is to be observed in the case of a limited company. What is it called? Whenever we give a facility of, say, cash credit, key cash credit or open cash credit to a limited company, apart from the normal formalities like, say, exhibiting a board in the office and submission of stock statements periodically, there is one more formality to be completed. What is it?
I think the majority of the board of directors should be involved in that.
Okay, then.
And,
did you study JIB, CIB and all?
No, sir.
That's why you don't know. This is known as registration of charges.
Okay, got it, sir. Yes.
There is an extra formality to be observed, namely registration of charges in the case of limited companies. So this is the answer for this question. And the question of overdraft will come Under which context? Overdraft security will be what?
For overdraft, I think, sir, there is no security needed, like frankly speaking, because it is more on the relationship and the ITR basis.
Who said so?
So kind of, there were, so ultimately there are two type of overdraft, right? One is secured, another unsecured. Unsecured, that's what I told. And for secured, we can take the primary or the collateral securities.
What are the primary securities in the case of secured overdrafts?
So the secure, the ultimately the assets which are actively involved in a business. Say, for example, if there's a person who is involved in the factory business, like who is running his shop and manufacturing unit, the factory is totally so if he is giving the factory as a collateral, as a security, so that is a primary security, because that is actively involved. And in case if it is not being related to the basic business of the customer, then it's a collateral security.
How will the property be secured? What is the process of securing it?
Okay. So
what is the terminology used for giving a land property, a house property as security to the bank?
okay.
Simple,
so it's a mortgage.
mortgage, simple
Yes, sir.
mortgage. Yeah. So that is the point. You have to tell me at that context. And you were not able to get in the case of exporters, the relevant point to be told is that about packing credit facility. Exporters will be asking for packing credit facility, that is pre-shipment facilities and post-shipment. These things you will know only if you have worked in a branch or studied about all these things. That is why, in order to find out your knowledge, I was asking about branch working. These are all basic questions, and I suggest you go through the basics of banking material that is given, Aparchit or whatever material, and get to know them. That will be better. Not that because you have a lot of days before you for preparation. See, the one problem with you is that you are not in the bank
Correct,
branch.
sir. Agreed.
And to compensate that, you have to prove your expertise by showing perfect knowledge.
True.
So that is possible only if you read more and more. I'm sorry, I have not told you this. These are the things, but of course it depend on the time, because you started telling about say current account, my discussion went into that area.
Correct.
So it will go like that only. Anyhow, you are answering very well. Your communication is of the top order. You are able to answer very nicely. That is all good. Now, you have applied for scale
3, sir.
3. So can you tell me what extra qualities or criteria that are needed, say in the case of a senior manager or scale 3 manager?
Yeah. So I think from the scale 3 perspective, the person should be multitasking. This is one of the key point, because whether he is being posted in the branch or it might be he's working with the administrative job, a lot of things, even in the current job scenarios, a lot of tasks comes at a one point of time. So the key point that I remember is a multitasking. Apart from this, he should be calm and composed on the certain points, because since he is working under pressure or probably handling a lot of tasks, so that calm and composure should be maintained over the time. The third point is a knowledge perspective. Wherever in which department he's working, might be the branch.
Yeah, Madhu, your internet is not all right. Yeah.
No, sir. Actually, someone called me in between, so issues. Sorry, I lost the connection. So yeah, I was talking about the requirement of the skill sets that the skill 3 officers should have. One is a multitasking, sir. I already described about that. Second is having a calm and composure. The third point is having a proper knowledge of the department. So knowing in and out specifically and in depth the knowledge is a point that will help him out to deliver the most. So I think these are the 3 points, and the last point is the analysis point, because be it a branch, be it an administrative job, it's very important to have the analytic skills. Suppose if we are in the branch, it's very important to measure like what in which trend we are going right now in mid of the month or at the end of the month, and at a regular intervals we need to have that analysis over the time. So that is a key point which will show up as a path, like how much deficit we are working, or what is still what is the room of improvement we have in terms of meeting the targets.
Good. Now, can you tell me about the recent news about foreign exchange reserves position of our country?
Sorry, sir. Actually, I'm not very much well versed with this point. But what I have heard from the news is currently the foreign reserves has improved a lot. That's the only point I remember.
Why do you,
listening
no,
to this?
Madhusudan, you have answered my question correctly.
Yes, sir.
Why did you have to say initially I am not prepared? So
So the
don't,
reason,
no,
like,
no. Do you think you will get extra marks if you tell this and this one?
so the reason why I said this, because the another question may be at the same point on the reserve, then what is this? What is this? That is the reason. I initially stopped, like, this is what my point is, and this is what this much I know.
No, but you don't have to do this, because invariably they may not, once they ask this question, they will go for some other thing. Maximum what they can ask you is that how foreign exchange reserves are built, why foreign exchange reserves are built, what is the use of these foreign exchange reserves, why should a country have more, which country has got more foreign exchange reserves, what is the extent of foreign exchange reserves of our country as compared to other countries. These are all regular questions even at probationary officer level. Whatever questions I have told you now, fadapat, all these are routine questions. Even a non-commerce graduate appearing for the first time bank interview must be able to answer them, because these are all general information only. Right now, the news is foreign exchange reserves have soared to a 11-month high of $595 for the week ending May 5, 2023.
Okay, sir.
That is the thing. Anyway, I'm not going into further questions because you told me about your fear. I'm not going into that. Now, I will ask next problematic question for you. Please tell me, what is the news about wholesale price index?
Okay. So currently, the wholesale price index has been lowered. It has been lowered from the last 18 months, including the inflation rate that has been lowered till 4.6 or 4.7 rate. So yeah, it is so this is a lower point. Sorry.
No problem. You play with, sorry, you talk to your child. That is also important. This is also important. Yeah. We
So
can't.
yeah, currently, so currently we have a lower inflation rate in comparison to the last 18 months and 2 years. In between, it has rolled to almost 7 to 8%, but now it is under control and it is on the lowest point as of now.
No, I think you are confusing with the regular inflation. This one is a separate one. This one is a separate one. 1 minute, which is that one? Yeah. Wholesale price index continues downward trend, drops to minus 0.92% in April. In April, wholesale price based inflation dropped minus 0.92% on a yearly basis, down from 1.34% in March. According to the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, this decrease was greater than the estimated 0.00. I am admitting these people, they are not coming. Yeah. 0.2% decline from Reuters poll. The month-to-month change in WPI for April 2023 compared to March 2023 remained unchanged at 0% for the 11th consecutive month. So you must read this. Yeah. Very good. Yeah,
Yes.
Madhusudan, you are with
Yeah,
me?
yes. Sir.
Yeah, Madhusudan. Right. Now, Madhusudan,
Yes. Sir.
yeah, I'm coming to some other question for you. Yeah, just a minute. What is a commercial paper?
Okay. So commercial papers are so it is a money market instrument. Okay. It's a kind of a underlying promissory note specifically issued by the corporate for the corporate borrowings by the corporates. So the minimum requirement or the eligibility criteria is the net worth of the particular company should be rupees 4 crores minimum, and they should be so this is one of the criteria. Apart from this, only the companies who has a rating of A3 or A2 can issue this commercial paper in the denomination of 5 lakhs. And however, if there is more, the first initial price will be 5 lakhs rupees, and the denomination will be also in the multiple of 5 lakh rupees only.
What is the minimum period for commercial paper? Maturity period?
So,
As
since it is a money market instrument, it is a short-term period that is up to 1 year.
No, but here I find in one material, it is given as 7 days, minimum maturity period of commercial
Okay,
paper.
minimum. Sorry, I've told you the
Sir,
maximum.
correct, it is 7 days only.
It is correct only.
7 to 1
Ah.
years. 7 days to 1 year.
7 days to 1 year.
7 days to 1 year.
Very good, very good. And another criteria given is the borrower account of the company is classified as a standard asset by the financing bank. That is also
Yes,
to
sir.
be
Agreed.
told. Very good. Can you name a few financial intermediaries in our country? Who are all the financial intermediaries involved in financial transactions and capital market transactions?
Okay. So financial intermediaries.
I think this is given
yeah.
in our olive board material, which I have given you. Here, the intermediaries mentioned are stock exchange in capital market, then
Yes, sir.
investment bankers in capital market, underwriters in capital market, money market, registrars, depositories, custodians in capital market, primary dealers, satellite dealers in money market, forex dealers in forex market, something like that it is given.
Okay.
Please go through that also. Can you name a
Yes.
few international financial institutions about which you are aware of? Name of, I want only the name of the institution.
Okay. So one is Silicon Valley Bank. Recently we had heard about the collapses.
That is not an international
Okay, institution you're asking. So
international financial institution, the sense
yeah,
that which deals with different countries in the world.
correct, sir. So one is Asian Development Bank. Okay. Another
Correct.
one is a World Bank.
Correct.
Apart from this, there is another institution which works on this monetary benefits. That is a UNICEF.
No. UNICEF will come under this, Gaurav.
No, not a financial institution. Not a financial
I want
institution.
only financial institution.
Yeah, so World Bank and Asian Development Banks are the one.
I will tell you. I am having it before my eyes. African Development Bank, Asian Development Bank, then comes Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, European Investment Bank, Islamic Development Bank, like that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Very good. What are the examples of primary sector in our economy? Pardon? Hello?
IMF, sir, International Monetary Fund.
अच्छा, IMF को छोड़ दिया हमने.
International Monetary Fund. Agreed.
You can tell about that also. I don't know why World Bank name, etc., is not found in this material. What is the reason? I don't know. Maybe I think that should also be mentioned here. World Bank, especially because now the top functionaries in World Bank, most of them are Indians, including the
Correct.
president. Yeah, very nice. Now, last question for you. Briefly tell about the primary sector of our Indian economy. What are the
Okay.
various activities involved in the primary sector of our Indian economy?
So primary sector, so ultimately the primary sector of our economy, where the government is focusing the more, even they want the bank to be a part of this primary sector to get involved ultimately in this. So it starts from the education, agriculture, housing, renewable energy, then social infrastructure, and the startups.
But here I find the answer is given differently. When the goods are produced by exploiting natural resources, it comes under the activity of primary sector. It involves transforming natural resources into primary products. It forms the base for all other products, and we eventually make. Most of the natural products we get from agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry. Therefore, this sector is also called agriculture and related sector. Agriculture, fishing, mining, forestry, etc. Generally, it is the larger sector in the developing countries. In developed countries, activities of the primary sector have become more technologically advanced. For example, mechanization of farming instead of hand picking and planting. Something like that. Anyhow,
Okay.
all this is available in the 54 pages material that I have given by our olive board. See,
Okay.
then what are coming under tertiary sector? Under tertiary sector, say primary sector, next is secondary sector. Secondary sector, they say light industry and then heavy industry. Then the tertiary sector, they say transport, storage, communication, banking, insurance, trade, hospitality, tourism, entertainment, management, consultancy, something like that. Anyhow, doesn't matter. The one reason Madhusudan must be much more be thorough with banking is that you are now not directly in bank. If at all you are going to be working in any of the branch as an officer also, then they will not suspect you are bona fide. For that you managed very well. For that you managed really well, except for the packing credit, all other items you were able to tell me nicely. Best wishes. Be reading a lot, that will help you. Thank you. Yeah.